Hello and welcome to another episode of Geekgo. Today we're going to look at a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. Now I love the Turtles, old and new cartoons, and I kind of like the comics and the films I really love as well. Today we're going to look at one of the games that you might not even know about. This is because it is drastically different from all the other games released at the same time. And it also is released on DOS and not on any of the consoles like the NES or the Super Nintendo or the Sega Genesis or Master System. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles The Manhattan Missions. Another big difference with this game is that it is based more on the comics and the films and not the cartoon series, with the only exception of the turtles having different coloured bandanas and also the inclusion of Bebop and Rocksteady. I remember used to playing this a lot on a 1.44-inch floppy disk. So you boot up the game and, well, it looks kinda cool. Now, in this version it isn't a passcode system, but I remember the original one, it will ask you a character and the name and you gotta like type in the right thing that you see in the manual to access the game. It's like a copy protection thing. That's not in this version for some reason. So the game's intro starts and, well, it's pretty awesome. The music's nice, the atmosphere is really good, and it's all done in sort of comic book panels, sort of in relation to the original comic books. You get the basic intro and the basic information how the turtles were born, and of course, pizza. Seeing this as a kid and seeing it now, it's just really great, seeing that sort of night sky and darkness and just random bits of paper flying across. It really sets up the tone of the game. So after the intro scene, you get to see the turtles all sitting around in their lair and watching the news report by April O'Neil, and of course Shredder is up to no good. And I like this bit because, like, Mikey is just eating the same sort of snack he is in the second film. It's pretty cool. And then the menu, you got the basic start game, rest turtles, and training. Training is pretty self-explanatory. You just choose an enemy to fight in this little room and you don't get hurt. Resting turtles is something special here. If all of your turtles die or get hurt, you can choose to rest them. Of course, resting these means losing hours. This game is on a time limit. It is real time 24 hours, but every time you rest, they gain bits of health for each hour that disappears. Now, don't rest too much because you will lose the game. On the main map, you sort of get a basic version of the Manhattan Island in New York, and you choose the missions. There are 4-5 sets of missions, each based on a different group of people and gangs. And every time you finish one of their missions, the next mission in relation gets unlocked. Now after you defeated all of these levels, you can finally go and fight Shredder in the main building. If you lose in one of these levels, that place becomes darker and darker and more damage. Does this mean anything to the actual game? I don't think so. I've never seen any consequences of losing too many times, apart from running out of time when you have to rest the turtles. By the way, the only purpose of Casey Jones is that he comes in and picks a turtle up if the turtle gets killed or injured. And you can actually turn him off in the main menu before you start the game, which is kind of weird. It's like Casey Jones is kind of awesome, and you can turn him off if you don't like him. Huh. Why the fuck would I want to turn him off? Because Casey Jones is awesome. What do you even put that option there? It's like turning the blood option off in Mortal Kombat. What's the fucking point? Oh, and saving and loading is a bit weird. You only get to save one game and load one game. So if someone else comes along and plays and starts a new game and saves, well, you lost your save game. The fortunate thing is this game is so short that chances are that probably won't happen. Still, why can't you give me 2 saves? Big face.
Wonder if there's anything to eat in this joint.
Oh my god, wow! Mikey, you come to join me to play this game?
All this gear, and you left out the pizza oven!
Right. I'll order some pizza while we play the game. How's this place sound? Ninja Pizza?
Pizza time!
Ugh. Yeah. Alright. With the missions you have the Triceratons, Ivory Smugglers, Extortionists, People Against Environment, and Arms Dealers. And each level is also bookended by 2 different comic book panels, giving you more on the storyline after you fight all the bad guys. When you start playing a mission, you notice that nearly half the screen is used on the status bar. That sucks ass. Well, anyway, you get the mugshot of the turtle you're using, his name, and if you player 1 you're on the left, player 2 takes the middle slot. You also see the boss's mugshot so you know who you're going to fight at the end of this level. That was the remaining time of the entire game. As you can see here, there's about 50 hours and such. And you also get to see the strength, speed and energy of each turtle. And these bars are different for all the different turtles. They regenerate over time if you just stand there and wait for a little bit, or you can keep fighting. But it is wise to let it recharge a little bit, because when your energy is on red, it takes forever to kill one of the goons and such. Graphics are, well, they're nice for its time. I believe they look better than the NES anyway. They look just as good as a Super Nintendo game, I believe. Now, most of the bosses are pretty similar to all the other goons, which is very disappointing because you'd think they'd do something special. Occasionally there's one or two bosses which are actually different. There's one with a machine gun, and there's Triceratons that fly up in jetpacks, which in later levels are just average enemies anyway. They're not that hard to defeat once you know the trick of fighting in this game. But the good thing about the levels is that they're all very varied and all very colourful and different in style. And this level kind of reminds me of Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, just because it's on some sort of car park. And this one here, climbing up so high, it's almost like you're fighting in the temples in the sky. It is pretty cool. Now here's where the game gets really hard. The platforming can get ridiculously silly and horrible. Now the controls are kind of stiff, and walking around is also kind of stiff, jumping is stiff. So what happens when you have to do a lot of jumps at the same time? Not only that, if you lose a turtle, you go back to the start of the mission. I mean, everything is destroyed, so you're just walking, and it gets really tedious and boring. But when you get back to there, you know, you just jump and fall off and die. Just the fact that you have to walk all the way back to the jumping point means that you're gonna forget a little bit on how to jump. And you know, it's like playing darts. If you miss the first time, you get to play and shoot the second dart right away. You know, you get a second chance, so you can adjust what you did wrong. But here, no, you gotta walk all the way back there, and it just gets really annoying. And I keep dying here, and it's just, oh my god, just stop falling off! So once you do that, and you go back, and at least the game has some decency to let you keep the strain, douchebags. And on the same level you get this annoying thing as well. I can't hit this stupid spider one-eyed freak thing. But look at it, it keeps jumping around me, I just can't hit him. I walk up towards him and yeah, all this problem just because all the controls are really stiff and I had to put the weapons away and just
Yeah, humans don't know nothing when it comes to turtles.
And now we move on to the controls. Now, if you don't have any joysticks plugged into your computer, both players use the single keyboard, which is fine because, well, the keyboards are big and you have enough space for 4 hands, I guess. But look at this. These controls are really messed up. Now, player 1 uses the arrows to walk around and jump, up is jump, which, okay, makes sense. But enter and space, press them together to get your weapons out or hoist them. Spacebar and direction is block, enter and direction is hit. When your weapons are hoisted, spacebar and direction is throw shurikens. Now that is really messed up. And player 2 is even worse. All of player 2's buttons are all sort of just cramped into Q, W, E, A, S, D, Z, X and C. What the hell happened? What's wrong with the numeric pad? That's like complete solar opposites. Let's spread out player 1 as much as we can and then cramp player 2. It's like, fuck you, you're in that corner. Ugh. Anyway, combat in this game is weird. When you have more than one enemy on the screen, they always sort of try and like surround you by standing on both sides. And this is what you do. You sort of just walk towards them so they back off and then corner them in one of the corners on the side of the screen. And then just fight off the other one. If you have like 3 or more enemies, once you killed one of the enemies, the 2 in the corner, one of them will decide to walk back out and let you hit them. And that's it. That's the only technique you can do in this game. Unless of course you're fighting against someone with a gun, in that case just, you know, keep trying and jump across until you get to the enemy. The enemies are completely stupid in this game. They are complete idiots, which makes the game really easy to complete. Having 2 players. You think having 2 players will make it easier, but there's some kind of balancing going on here. The turtles level up when they defeat an enemy. Now if you have 2 players, then someone's going to level up less, or, well, you're both going to level up less because you're sharing the enemies and experience points between you. Which makes it okay and balances the game somewhat, which is fine. And like I said before, the bosses are completely useless. I mean, look at this. You just stand there and push the attack button. And wait. And yeah, all of the bosses are exactly the same. Even when you get to the last level where you're going up to Shredder's tower. Now this level starts with platforming again, but it isn't as bad as getting the string from that stupid port level. But anyway, you get there and then you fight 4 different ninjas all in the same weapons as the Ninja Turtles, which is kinda cool, so you know, you might want to swap all 4 turtles so they beat them one at a time. And then you get 3 pizzas like you really need it, but thanks anyway. And yeah, I kept some shurikens and this is how I defeated Shredder. How this is even more of a disappointment as Shredder in the films. I mean, you know, they don't really get to fight him in the films, but here he just goes down with after a few shurikens. You'd think he'd be some like badass boss that can beat up the turtles, but nope, he can't even hit you because you're not on the same platform. Yeah, bosses don't really jump. And then you get this pretty cool and humorous cutscene, which to be honest, I really enjoy this scene. So yeah, that's Ninja Turtles, the Manhattan missions. I know I bashed it quite a bit, but it's got quite a lot of humorous bits. The dialogue in the cutscenes are, well, you know, single images are pretty cool. And the atmosphere is just great. The music is pretty fun as well if you have a proper DOS machine with Sound Blaster. Otherwise there's no music and everything just sounds like beeps and bops. But yeah, give it a try. I mean, if you're a Ninja Turtles fan, you definitely enjoy it. It's not hard for stupid reasons, and it gets difficult in some places for also stupid reasons. So, well, I played it years ago, I enjoyed it, and I still enjoy it today, even with its really annoying flaws. Hey, the pizza is here, but damn, I'm missing a few coins. You got any?
What a bummer. I left my wallet in my other shell.
In that case, I'll kill you both.
Man, why did you smash my window again?
Oh, rock dudes! We did it! We won!